Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cue the Chat podcast. My name's Xintong, and I was not expecting to be back here today because there wasn't meant to be any results today. But Xintong, what a man! He has beat the greatest player of all time, 7-time world champion, 8-time Masters champion, 8-time UK champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He played an absolute blinder. Ronnie didn't play well, but like Xintong, it wasn't like he was just scraping through. Like some of the frames, they're obviously some of the frames were close, but when Xintong got in, he played good snooker. Like he wasn't the better of two bad players. He played quite well. So yeah, I was expecting to come back tomorrow for reviewing both semi-finals, but Xintong is into the final. He is into the final. After the first session, it was 4-all, and it looked like we could have a good game in our hands. But that second session, I was watching it. I had my phone on my knee in the middle of geography class, and I watched. I couldn't keep a proper eye on it because, of course, I was in geography class. But 4-4. He won the next one. I was thinking, this is getting interesting. Then he won the next one, and 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 it was 12-4 at the end of the session. Ronnie O'Sullivan got whitewashed at the end of the session, which I thought was crazy. One of my teachers is really into snooker, and I went up to him. I think it was the frame just before the interval. Yeah, I think it was 7-4. I went up to him and I just said that Ronnie's lost 3 on the spin, and we were just watching Xintong potting balls left, right, and centre, and he just said he's lost that one as well, and he was on 30-40 Xintong, like nearly every time he got in, he got in, you were just thinking he's cleared up from here, hasn't he? So yeah. It was just there's some of the balls that Ronnie was missing were unheard of. Like I don't know whether God damn it, I'll say it. He was looking like Jensen Kendrick, man. I'm sorry, Jensen, if you're watching, but so it was like Jensen Kendrick at the start of his professional career. I don't know if any of you remember him. He played on TV a couple of times. It was like he'd get in and he'd score a couple of points. He'd be like, "Oh, this is interesting," and then he'd miss like the most simple pot. Like you should have seen that. I'm saying you should have seen that as if you haven't been watching. I'm sure a lot of you were, but that blue that he missed to middle, he was almost dead straight, and he missed blue to middle. Like how do you miss that? Like I'd nearly smash my own cue if I missed that. Like, and he's that's what he's meant to be. He's the greatest player to ever live. It's just it's kind of baffling how these things work. How somebody can come down essentially after playing so well. And I think the only reason that he's going to keep playing for 2 years is because maybe he felt that he wants to leave on a high, maybe, because smashing up your cue in your last match, being in the Championship League, probably isn't the way you want to go out. And then to come back here then with no form, no cue, no ferrule, no tip that you're happy with, and to just play so appallingly. I think those 2 years are just so that he can get a level to say that I'm proud of the last match I played, because nobody wants him to I mean, even love him or loathe him, nobody wants to see him go out playing like number 50 in the world, number 60 in the world, number 70 in the world. I think that everybody wants to see him go out playing like a champion, because ultimately, barring like a few hiatuses, He's played like a champion since 1992. And even when he hasn't been playing like Ronnie standard, he he's still been better than 80% of the tour. So like, to see him, like, he's made it to the World Championship semi-final. I'm talking like he's gone out first round. But to see him go from last season winning, was it, I think he might have won 3 tournaments. To see him go from that to missing blacks off the spot, to missing straight blues off the spot, to playing terrible safety errors. It's like, it's crazy. Like, it shows how important practice and confidence, those are the two things that make a good snooker player. And over the past while, since January really, he hasn't practiced. He's only started practicing, he said, for a month, so that would be mid-March. So he had 2 months off no practicing. He has no confidence. Like, it it really shows us, like, how important those two factors are. And of course, I'm going to get on to the Q and the Ferrell and all this crack. But, like, just the fact that a 7-time world champion, the greatest player to ever play the game of snooker, to go out in the World Championship semi-final looking like Pete from down the club for some of his shots. Now, of course, there was some decent snooker mixed in there, but it's a strange one. It is a really strange one. I suppose we may as well move on to the tip and the Ferrell. You know, he's had 3 tips, 2 Ferrells, and a new Q in this tournament. And I mean, I know myself from getting new tips on, like, even for me myself, who's like, highest break was 16, I think. Pretty sure it's 16. Even when I like get a new tip on my Q, you can feel the difference. Oftentimes it's a good difference because I've miscued and taken a chunk out of my tip, but you can instantly feel the difference between one tip and the next. So for him to go through, was it 3 tips? He's gone through two different Ferrells. He started off the week with the titanium, and should have stuck with it, I think, because he was learning the titanium, but he was getting there, you know. And then he had to relearn brass then for today, and you know, he went from competing in that match to he may as well have been in row F, you know. He was only there to set to you know, shove Jan Verhaas out, get him to puck the balls around, because it's like you know, when you have all this new equipment, like some of it in your 30 years of professional snooker that you've never even touched, you know, chain too much. Like it was like Formula 1, you know, anything in Formula 1, it was just knee-jerk, you know. Oh, it's not working. Sure, we'll change the ferrule, will we? Change it to different material. We'll try different material. We'll go back to the old way. No, I don't like the old way. Must be the tip. We'll put on our 65th tip of the week. You know, at some point, you just have to accept that it's you. Like, all of those tips can't have been bad. You can't say, oh, it's because I'm playing with a titanium ferrule, and then go back to playing with a brass ferrule, and then it not being right. You know, at some point, you have to just accept that, like, you're not playing at the top level, and changing it will only make it worse, because changing over and back and over and back, you're not going to make any progress because you're setting yourself back to square one. You just kind of at some point you have to accept that the way things are going, you just have to stick with one thing, that you're not making a very many squares over. So setting yourself back to square one is going to do nothing for you. So yeah, it was a tough watch at times for Ronnie fans. Though of course, I say of course, I'm a Xintong fan. I was before he got banned. Him and Yan Bingtao, I was a big fan of. So I'm pretty happy. I'm happy to see him back, of course. And he played some lights out snooker. Some of the pots, some of the shots that he was pulling off were absolutely insane. It was insanity how he was playing. So yeah, congratulations to him. His English has come on a long way. Radzi mentioned it in the TNT studio. I switched over to TNT after the BBC started showing the first semi-final, and Radzi mentioned it. Like, I was just thinking, you have Seema and Ken Doherty, two with polar opposite accents, and he's trying to understand the both of them, and then he heads off to the TNT studio, and then he's got Jimmy White and Rhiann Evans, who both have two different. Well, Jimmy's and Rhiann's, I suppose, are a bit more similar, but they're still different, and Radzi and Seema, I suppose, are mostly the same. But to be able to understand all of those accents, sometimes I don't understand Jimmy White, to be frank. And then to come up with such, I suppose, detailed answers when you're speaking in a second language, I thought it was superb. The way that he was doing that, especially from when he won that UK Champs in 21, his English was not. It was still good. I mean, he's not speaking in his mother tongue, but it was much improved this tournament, or this now 4 years on. It was much improved. So yeah, and then it started 12-4, and he won 17-7. So he still lost 3 frames. He was maybe an error away from having to come back again tomorrow, but I think he'll be happy with finishing things off a session early, because he gets to, take some time off. As he said himself, have a bit of lunch, have a big lunch, sorry, and yeah, he just gets to chill out, because I know he was finishing in the afternoon anyway, which is a benefit compared to finishing in the evening, but he now has time that he wouldn't have had otherwise to recuperate, to chill out, because it's a long tournament. So to have a day to just chill out and try and get a bit of energy back, it'll stand him. Trust me, it'll stand him. And if things keep going the way they're going in the other match, 4-4 after the first session, 8-8 after the second, that could be the difference in the first mini session. Because they were going for, what was it, 2:30 till 6, 3 or 4. They were going for 3.5 hours this afternoon. If they do that in both of their sessions today, they're going to be going 10:30, 11 tomorrow evening. Well, I suppose this evening while you're listening to this, but and then you have like an hour or so of media commitments, so that's about 11:30. Then you have to get back. It'll be 12:15, if things go the exact same way that they have been going. That they'll be going to bed. Then they're gonna have to get up, get to the venue, get practicing. They're gonna be running on, I suppose, 8 or 9 hours sleep, which is fine. But after something so mentally draining, you're gonna want some extra time, and Zhao Xintong is gonna have the luxury of being able to get up at, say, 11 o'clock in the morning. Now tomorrow they're already going to be in session. he's going to be able to go around, chill out, and go to bed 9-10 o'clock for the biggest match of his life, while the other two are still playing. Of course, he might stay up and watch in his hotel room. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to sleep not knowing who my opponent is for the World Final the next day. But if he's a man who's able to do that, he does have that luxury that he can be asleep while the other two are still playing. So yeah, it makes for an interesting storyline. The amateur man who was banned, it's his first tournament back, and he could become the world champion after, playing lights out snooker in his first match, and then kind of what's the phrase? Kind of petering out in his next two, playing one of his good friends in Lei Pei Fan in the second round, not fully able to concentrate on what's going on. Then in his next match against Chris Wakelin, they said on the TV that he struggled. 13-5 doesn't struggle to me. I mean, I wasn't watching it, but 13-5 certainly doesn't scream struggled. So I would use the phrase comfortable rather than struggled, and then in the end to come out with a session to spare. I mean, he almost did that against Chris as well, because I think they only came back for one frame. What was it, Wednesday afternoon? Yeah, I think they only came back with him needing a frame. I think they might have played two, but yeah. So I mean, it's not, apart from the Lei Pei Fan one, it's been, I was about to say been the easy road. It's not been the easy road. He's coming up against some great players. Last year's finalist in the first round, one of his friends, a different sort of a challenge. Then one of the standout players of the last couple of seasons, Chris Wakelin, really should have been excuse me there as a seed, playing him in the first round, because he would have gone in as the 16th seed, I would think. So yeah, it's and then of course to be playing the greatest player to ever live, of course someone who's gone through some stuff over the past few weeks, but nonetheless still a force, should have been a force to be reckoned with. The stage maybe got to him a small bit. It was interesting what Radzi said. I think it was on the Snooker Breakfast podcast, saying about what like a genuinely nervous guy Ronnie becomes, or not becomes, that Ronnie is, because he comes out and he's like, he looks to he kind of bullies his way around the table, and he looks steely most of the time. He walks off. He kind of looks like he owns the place. But to hear someone who's worked so closely with him talk about how, I suppose, nervous he gets, it kind of backs up what he's been saying. When he says, I'm not feeling good, or I don't think I'm performing well, that people think that it's bullshit. But from what Radzi said, it's not. That he's like a perfectionist. He's like, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he's like what he says isn't bullshit. It's what he's actually thinking. And I think that me included, for a long time, people thought that maybe what he was saying was crap, because he'd mix it in with quotes like, I'm paraphrasing here, but like when he said that some of the players in the ranks would make half decent amateurs, like, that's just not true. The ranks these days are some of the best that the sport has ever known. He sprinkles in his comments like that he sprinkles in his like self-deprecating sort of comments in with that, so nobody takes him seriously. But it's genuinely what he's feeling, from what I've heard from what I've heard from what Radzi said on the snooker breakfast. I was getting onto something there, was I? No, I don't think so. I think I was getting on to the next match, which is, of course, Judd Trump against Mark Williams. They're 8-all. Judd Trump, I think, was 7-3 up. Looking to take in the second session, looking to take a commanding lead, but it wasn't to be. And Mark Williams rallied back and played some very nice snooker. I'm not sure what they're going to do in the middle session now. They'll probably have to have an exhibition for the people who are meant to be there, but yeah, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of televisual coverage. I'll check the Sky Go app to see if they have anything up, but while that's loading, like, there's been 1, 2, 3 century breaks so far, so it's been high quality, and some of the safety play has been pretty incredible in the match. So it has tomorrow. This is BBC 2. Oh, yeah, it says something about, because I'm watching BBC Northern Ireland. It says something about Cup. Is it supposed to be? Oh yeah, it was supposed to be on BBC One, but they just have it. They just still have it there, as, yeah, they have it there from 2 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're doing anything at the moment. TNT will just, I don't know, show a couple of 147s or something. That's what they usually do. Yeah, so it's going to be an exciting match. That kicks off at 10 a.m. And finishes at 7. I wonder, would they, I suppose they can't really if they're putting on an exhibition at 2 o'clock. I was wondering, would they maybe put them on at 11 and 6? But that fucks with the TV schedule as well. It would make more sense to put them on at 11 and 6. Give them a bit of an extra lie-in. You know, keep them going, and then, you know, give them a bit of time to recoup before Sunday's big final. But it look, they're probably not going to do that, but it's all happening at the World Championship, and yeah, there's plenty of snooker to be played, even though we are missing a session. It's finally poised at 8-all. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to head off to bed now. It's 11:20. And I will see you probably tomorrow evening, depending on how the second session goes. I won't be recording this late tomorrow, I can tell you that much. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I might be back Sunday morning. I might be getting up very early to record a podcast, but nonetheless, we'll see you before the final. I hope you enjoy I hope you enjoy the second semi-final. But the news story from today is that Ronnie O'Sullivan is out and Xintong is into the final of the World Snooker Championship. The second ever Chinese player. I say that with chest. I'm 95% sure that is correct. I'm actually going to double check that, because I can't say that with chest and have it be incorrect. Yeah, it was fully correct. Ding Junhui in 2016 was the only other player. That's what I was thinking. So yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fascinating, and it's all happening in Sheffield. We'll see you tomorrow or the next. Yeah, probably tomorrow. But until then, you can get your emails in. You can. If anybody's been at the tournament, actually, it'd be great to hear what's been going on. But yeah, send your emails my way. cuethechat@gmail.com, and I was about to say you might get your email read out. You'll definitely get your email read out. So yeah, hit me up. We will see you the next day. But until then, adios.